Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and today's video is going to be on how to travel for an extremely cheap budget. In some cases, how to travel for free. Hey guys, welcome back, and if you're new here, just to let you know that I do upload on the daily. I upload my travel videos Monday through Thursday and my free talk videos through the weekends and sometimes throughout the rest of the week. But if you are interested, please hit that subscribe button. This is kind of my part 4 video on how to make money while traveling. I sort of wanted to end off this series and telling you ways that you can travel on an extremely cheap budget and in some cases for free. Some stuff I've already said in the other videos, but I'm going to add it into this video. So this video is for people who like for me, I know how to stretch a dollar. I know how to make a dollar go a very long way. In saying that, I still think you should be able to enjoy your life and have fun and treat yourself. So don't be too much of a penny pincher. But this video is going to be for people who really want to get their traveling lifestyle kick-started, and they don't want to wait until they have a few thousand or 10,000, whatever. They don't want to wait till they have a large amount of money to travel, which is also a great way to do it too, to save up thousands of dollars, a few $1,000s, and then you can travel for half a year or whatever through Southeast Asia. Anyway, you can afford to travel through Southeast Asia without thinking about work, or you can have some savings while you are getting your digital nomad lifestyle in order, while you are setting up your job you want to do online. That's also a great way to do it. But sometimes people are like me and just want to jump on a plane right now, and they want to go traveling now, and they don't have a large savings, and they want to know how they can do it. So this is what this video is going to be about. That was a long ass introduction, but here we go. First off, you have to basically become a minimalist. You have to get rid of your possessions, and it's also a great way to earn money that you didn't realize you had, so you can get that plane ticket, so you can get your traveling started. Whatever you own and you think you can sell, whether it's clothes, whether it's furniture, whether it's electronics, anything that you can't travel with, and anything that's not precious to you or sentimental, sell it. You don't need all that stuff, and you're definitely not going to use it while you're traveling. I mean, unless it's like a TV or a car and you're not sure if this is something you want to do long term, don't sell the big important things that you might regret later. Just put them in storage. But if you're really serious about this, you're like, I want to travel long term, this is what I want my lifestyle to be, then you don't need all those things. Let that stuff go and sell it. That's what I did. I sold every stitch of furniture and items that I had. I didn't sell my clothes. I wish I would have if I would have had enough time, but I literally bought my plane ticket a week before I was ready to fly out. But I did give a lot of my clothes away to charities. I didn't just toss it. So that's anything. And if you have clothes, there's so many apps and so many websites where you can sell your clothes, and not just eBay. There is eBay. You can do eBay too. And I forgot to write down apps, but I'll put them on a screen. So you can take pictures of your stuff and you can sell them. And even if you don't sell all your stuff right away, like your clothes or shoes or handbags or jewelry or anything like that, you can give them to someone that you trust, a family member or a friend. You can package them, label them, and give them to them. And so while you're traveling and people are still making orders, you can have your family or your friends mail off your packages for you. That way, while you're traveling, you still have money coming in. I did that the first time I went traveling. When I still had my business back at home, I had a friend sell my stuff for me, and so I still had money coming in. So you can pay them for it, or if it's your mom and dad, I'm sure they do it for free. So that's that. So just sell all your stuff, and then you have a nice chunk of change that you can buy your ticket with, or you can start your travelings off. And then also, again, change that mindset. You don't need a lot of stuff, so when you are traveling, don't think that you need a bunch of trinkets or souvenirs or new clothes all the time. Let that stuff go, because if you're budgeting, you don't need to waste your money on that stuff. So change your mindset. Only bring the clothes that you really like and love and you're going to be comfortable in. So the first thing is sell all your stuff, change your mindset, become a minimalist, and you can use that money to sell your ticket or fund your travels. Alright, the next one is one probably a lot of people already know about, which is couch surfing. Couch surfing is a really great way to travel for extremely cheap and sometimes absolutely for free. In Southeast Asia, there is couch surfing, more like in Malaysia Asia or Vietnam, but it's so cheap here that a lot of people don't really bother with couch surfing because it's really affordable to have room and board here. But if you're going somewhere else, like, I'm not saying they don't have it here, but I'm just saying it kind of doesn't even make sense sometimes. But if you are if you are on a really low budget, you can stay in places in Southeast Asia for free. I've seen a bunch of couch surfing places here in Thailand, on the islands, and other places in Southeast Asia. So that's a great way. A lot of times you can stay for a few days to a week or whatever. It depends on the person that you're staying with. Again, if you are a female and you're traveling solo and you don't feel comfortable staying with a man, you can always set your settings on couch surfing that it would only look for females, or so you are only look for places where you have your own room and stuff like that, and you can stay there for free. European countries, I think, is a lot more popular couch surfing, and I actually think it's a lot more useful because Europe is a lot more expensive than Southeast Asia, so I think you get a lot more out of it if you couch surf. So couch surfing is one, and the next one is volunteering. I mentioned this in my other video, I know, but I'm going to reiterate it. Volunteering is a great way to travel for free or on a very small budget. Of course, you still again have to pay for the plane ticket, but once you get there, a lot of times your food, your room, your board is all paid for. You just have to volunteer your services for 3, 6, 8 hours, and then you have the rest of your time to explore the country that you're living in, to enjoy the company, to enjoy the other backpackers, and to enjoy your life. And depending on the volunteer work itself can be extremely rewarding. You can have a lot of fun, whether you are volunteering in a party hostel, whether you're volunteering on an organic farm, whether you're volunteering in an orphanage. You know, they all have their benefits that comes with volunteering in itself, and plus you get to see different countries. Some places do maybe pay you a small stipend, but most of the time it is just room and board. So let's talk about plane tickets. A lot of people don't know, I didn't know this little secret, and so maybe like other people don't know this little secret, so I'm gonna tell people. On Skyscanner, there's an option to, basically it's a way you can find the cheapest flight tickets in the world at the time. And you have to have a really flexible schedule with this one, but I definitely want to get to the point where I can do this, where I'm just like, yeah, what do I want to go this week, and you just sort of like pick a place. So basically you go on Skyscanner and you pick where you're coming from, and then when it says destination, you just type in anywhere, and sometimes anywhere just pops up. You just type in anywhere, and then when it taps in what day you want to go, you just type in anytime, and it will find the cheapest tickets for you at certain times of that year. So let's say you type in that, and then Japan pops up, and you can buy a ticket to Japan for $50. You know, it's not until 3 months from now or 4 months from now, but you can buy that really cheap ticket, and now you know in 4 months I can get to Japan on such a really cheap ticket. So if you wanted to come to Thailand, or if you wanted to go to a certain country and you're like, oh my gosh, like the flights are just so expensive, try that option and see if the country that you want to go is in that list of countries. And even if it's not, you might see a country there that you were interested in and you forgot that you wanted to go to, or you might find a new country that sparks your interest that you decide you want to go to instead. But it's the way you can find the cheapest flight tickets at that time. So I think that's a really good option. So this one is like a really creative way, and you have to have a little bit of talent with this one, but I've seen people use this tactic. So let's say that you are a photographer, or you're a YouTuber, or you have a blog, or you have a large social media following. I've seen people go into hotels and say, look, I will market your hotel. I will do a whole video review on your hotel. I'll interview you. I'll give you a really good recommendation, a really good review, and I have 100,000 followers on my Instagram who love to travel. So this is a really good opportunity to promote yourself to people that you might not have reached if it wasn't for me. And so in return, all I ask is a couple of nights stay here, and a lot of times that will work. You have to present yourself well, and you have to present a good argument, and you have to be giving them something of value. So let's say, like, once I get bigger and I have 30,000 subscribers, something like that, I can go into an establishment and say, hey, I give hotel reviews on the daily, and people really follow my advice. If you let me stay here for a few days, I will review your hotel, I will do a video on your hotel, and you know, in return I get accommodations. So people have done that. So if you have a large following, if you have a blog, if you have a YouTube channel, if you're a good photographer, that was another one. If you have a camera, a good camera, and or even if you're not like the best photographer in the world, but you have a really good camera, you can go into hotels and say, hey, I will take update photos of your hotel if you let me stay here for a couple of days, a couple of nights free. You know, look at their website, see, do they have photos? Do they have enough photos? Do they have update photos? You know, and just like, it's like a business deal. You present your offer, and sometimes they're gonna say, no, I'm not interested, but other times they'll say yes. So if you ask 10 hotels and 4 or 3 said yes, that's 3 or 4, you know, nights. Or if you do 2 nights each, that's what, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 6 or 9 nights that you got for free. So it's an option. So think about it. Like, use your creativity. What talents can I have to offer people? You know, it's trade offer instead of money exchange. You know, get to know the locals. Get to know the locals, because the locals are the ones who knows where all the more cheaper places are. And you know, a lot of times when people start traveling, they kind of follow the backpackers. They follow where all the tourists go, and they go to the places that are more expensive because they're catering to tourists. So get to know the locals, so the locals will be like, hey, go to this bar, the beers are a lot cheaper. Oh, hey, go to this restaurant, the food is so better, much better, and it's a lot cheaper. Sometimes they will feed you, sometimes they will, you know, invite you over for drinks. Be friendly, talk to people, get to know everybody else. And when you go to certain places, it's better to stay away from all the tourist places. Where Westerners go, where all the tourists go, is going to be always more expensive. They're catering to tourists, and of course, any tourist area is going to be more expensive. Even in America, Disney World, SeaWorld is way more expensive because they're catering to tourists. So don't go to all the tourist places. Find the little hole-in-the-wall mom-pop restaurants. Find the local places, because usually those are way more less expensive. And if they got a lot of Thai people in there, a lot of locals in there, usually that means the food is really good as well. So look around, explore your area, try to see where the local places are, where instead of going to 7-Eleven, go into a little Thai local like liquor store or corner store, because it's usually a lot more cheaper. So for instance, so this is a bottle of filtered water. It's clean water, but it's a Thai brand. This is 5 baht. But you can only find this brand in Thai local corner stores. You cannot find it in 7-Eleven or Tesco. And so, I mean, it's not saving that much, but this is half the price as the cheapest bottle of water in 7-Eleven. The cheapest bottle of water in 7-Eleven is like 10 baht, 11 baht, 12 baht. This is 5 baht, so that's half the price. And again, this might mean nothing to somebody else, but like I said, I know how to stretch a dollar. But this video is for people who want to travel, but they're going to be on a really tight budget. So that's just an example. Find places that are local. Don't go to all the tourist places. Walk around, explore your town, explore your neighborhood, and go to those places. Places are a lot less expensive because they're not catering to tourists, they're catering to the locals. And there's other different tricks too, like when you get like a juice, like you get like a sugarcane juice or orange juice or something like that, ask for it in a bag instead of a cup, because the bag is just cheaper. That's where all the locals use. The locals use the bags. The locals use the bags because they know it's cheaper. Don't ask for a cup. They're gonna hand you a cup because you're a tourist, and they just automatically think that all tourists are scared to drink out of a bag or something, or they know that they're gonna charge you more. So ask for a bag. Or when you get a to-go thing, instead of getting into the like styrofoam to-go box things, ask to put the food in a bag. That's what all the locals use. All the locals get their food in a bag and you wrap it up. As long as you have utensils or something to eat it out of once you get back to your place, ask for it in a bag because it's always cheaper. It's almost like half the price usually. So do what the locals do, basically. Do what the locals do. See what they're doing and do it their way, because it's always a lot cheaper. Taxi rides. First of all, always haggle. Always bargain your taxis, because they see you as a tourist. They're always going to go up and they expect you to bargain. So don't feel bad and don't feel guilty about trying to down the price, because they expect it, and so they already put the price up because they already know that you're going to bargain with them. And also, when you're catching a taxi, don't go where all the tourists would go. Again, get away from the tourist areas. Like, let's say you're on Kosan Road. Do not just walk in front of Kosan Road where all the taxis are waiting and get a taxi there. First of all, never walk to a taxi that's just sort of waiting with all the other taxis waiting for tourists, because they're always going to up the price. It's always going to be more expensive. If you're on Kosan Road, I'm using this as an example, but if you're on Kosan Road, walk 2 blocks the other way. Get where all the locals are. Get where the locals are waiting for their buses and preparing to go to work and stuff like that. Catch a taxi there. Those taxis are picking up locals. They have a more of a mindset to go a bit lower. They still may up the price because they see that you're a tourist. You can still bargain with them. Or they have more of these in Bangkok than they do have in Chiang Mai, but they have regular taxis with the meter. So ask for the meter on. So if they turn a meter on, you know that you're getting the exact amount that you should be paying. Or just look for a taxi that already has the meter on with the little red light. Sometimes they'll turn it off as soon as you get in the car, but you can get into say meter on, and it's not a big deal. Like, I'm not saying that you need to get it to the lowest price possible. In a lot of cases, you're always going to be paying more than the locals because you are a tourist, and I think that it's sort of fair. Like, we are visitors here. They run off a tourist economy. A lot of the locals here work in tourist economy, and so I don't mind paying a little bit more. To me, that's not a big deal. But it's when they're giving you an outrageous amount, when they're really like charging you too much. That's what I care about. So even if you do follow all these tips and you go 2 blocks away and you catch a local taxi, unless the meter is on. If the meter is off, they're still going to charge you 100 baht, 200 baht more, but it's going to be less than if you would have caught the taxi right in front of all the tourists. You know what I mean? It's going to be cheaper. So that's a good way. I mean, so again, do not ever, like a train or a ferry and there's a taxi guy saying, come here, come here. Don't go to that person. Walk past that person. Go find a local taxi. If you are coming out of a big tourist area, like a tourist attraction, like the floating market or Koh San Road, do not go to all those taxis that are just waiting for you. Walk a block or so away. This takes a little bit more effort, but again, this is for people who want to save money when they're traveling. And I'm talking more, this is more like, you can use a lot of these tips everywhere, but I'm talking more like Thailand or Southeast Asia. So walk like 2 blocks away and catch a local taxi there.
I'd rather be at home with bread.
Street food is always the cheapest food in Thailand, and street food is bomb. So do not be scared of the street food. Again, you have to change your mindset a little bit. I think as Americans, we're a little bit scaredy. We think everything needs to be certain standards or something like that. Like, the street food is fine. I've never gotten sick from the street food, except when I was in Pai, and that wasn't actually street food. That was from a restaurant. So if you want to eat cheaper, either go local and go to local restaurants or do street food. Street food is amazing. It's king in Thailand, especially Chiang Mai. There's tons of markets here. So go to street food. It's not going to kill you. You are going to be fine. So eat street food. Street food is king. Next couple, I'm going to say that this is for people who are like on extremely low budget. I remember the first month that I traveled to Thailand. By the end of the month, I had no money. Like, I was done. I had like $12 to my name, and I met other backpackers that like, I'm at the end of my trip and I am so broke. All I can eat is rice. So these are a little bit extremes, but if you're in that position, you know, I want to help you out. So I'm looking down at my phone, sorry. So there's a website called The Guide to Sleeping in Airports. So let's say that you have a flight the next morning, but it's almost like 16 hours in between, or a lot of hours in between, but you don't necessarily want to have to like reserve a whole new hotel, then get a taxi, get there. You rather just get in a airport and just sort of stay there. But 18 hours or 16 hours or 12 hours or whatever is a long time. So but if you don't want to pay for airport, this website would tell you the best places in those airports to take a nap, to go to sleep, where you're not going to get bothered, where the security's not going to bother you, where there's no people around, where it's quiet, where you can actually get some Z's. So that's that for that website for people who are like, look, I don't want to spend an extra couple of dollars in a hotel when I'm literally about to go to an airport tomorrow. So that's a guide to, so that's it. So the website is A Guide to Sleeping in an Airport. Okay, so the next one is for people who may be in a country that doesn't have the best public transportation and they want to get to one city to another city or another neighboring country. So there's an app where you can actually carpool internationally, and it's carpooling.com, and it supports 40 countries, where you can get a seat in someone's car, and it's like a hitchhiking app. It's almost like a hitchhiking app. We can get a seat in someone's car, and a lot of times it just asks you for gas in some company. So if that's something you're interested in. Piggybacking off of that one, another way you can travel for practically for free is hitchhiking. A lot of people do it. I would not recommend hitchhiking for solo females, because I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, if there are any females who are watching this video and you're like, hey, I travel all the time, I've hitchhiked, it's always been fine with me, here are my safety tips or whatever, please feel free to comment, because I haven't done it, but I am curious about it. But on this video, I am not recommending for solo female travelers to do that, but I've seen plenty of guys do it, and I've also seen groups of friends do it. So if you are a girl with another girl, a girl with another guy, or a few friends, hitchhiking is a really, really good way to do it. I've seen people hitchhike all the way through Southeast Asia. Yes, again, it takes time. You have to sit there, you have to hold a sign, you have to maybe dance a little bit, you have to keep someone company once you're in the car. But hitchhiking is something that a lot of travelers do, and I actually watched a TED Talk where a guy like traveled for years for free, and all he did was hitchhike, and the next thing he did was tenting. A lot of people travel and they just free camp, which is pretty much you don't go to a camping site that you have to pay for. You find a spot that is quiet in a park, in a jungle, in the woods. So people just strap their tents to their back and they find a quiet place throughout the day, and then they tent there. And so yeah, that's accommodations for free. And again, I saw this TED Talk, and this guy, I think, traveled for like 10-17 years or something like that, and all he did was hitchhike and tent. And the only time he had a bed inside is when people just invited him in and allowed them to stay in his homes. Other than that, he hitchhiked and he tented, and those things are for free. Sometimes when you hitchhike, you have to give money for gas, which is fair enough, but tenting is absolutely for free. You just have to be careful where you're tenting. Just make sure you're not tenting somewhere where it's dangerous or illegal, or you're gonna get caught or something like that. But people do it all the time. They take their tent or their hammock and they put it against a tree, and they just tent on a beach, on an island somewhere, and that's their accommodation. So that's an option if you have the gusto and you're brave enough and you're not like a little pretty, like you're not scared to break a nail or something. That's a really good option. Making friends is another good one. Like if you are traveling solo and you see a group of people on the train or the bus, on the boat or whatever, and they seem cool, make friends with them and don't be shy about it, because a lot of times they too are on a budget and they want to save money, and the more the merrier. You guys can rent out a room and all split the cost. You can buy food, buy a few plates for all you to share, and it's a really good way to save money. Like I mean, it depends, because you might find a group of people that are on mommy and daddy's credit card, and they may want to be spending money all the time, but maybe they want to be charitable and they want to take you along with them. But just, fill it out. See what kind of, if they're on the second class, no fan train, which is like where all the budget backpackers like go, then there's a good chance that they're on a budget too. But fill it out. But even if they're on the same level as you, or a little bit higher, like still splitting a whole room or splitting food and stuff like that is going to help you with your budget. So make friends. I know this advice isn't like mind-blowing or anything, but these are all the ways that I've saved money. These are all the ways that I budget my money. And the thing is, like, if you learn how to budget your money in some ways, in other ways, you can spoil yourself. You can treat yourself. So if I only go to local places or I only eat street food for dinner for most of the time, but then when someone invites me to a really nice place, then I have that money to go do that because I have all my savings. So I'm not saying like come out here and don't enjoy yourself and don't enjoy your travels or don't enjoy your life, the moments. But if you're on a budget, I would rather budget my money on a daily basis, so when it is time to treat myself, I have that money to treat myself. So I don't really know what I just said in this video, but I hope it helped. Like these are all the ways that I've done it. Like I said, like if anybody wants to know like how much I spend a month, like let me just tell you, this is how much I spend a month, and these are the months that I don't do anything and I don't go anywhere. Like so sometimes it's a lot higher, but this is like my normal month. But I just sort of focus on myself and focus on my job. Basically, I spend $100 on room and board right now. When I was in my other apartment, I spent like $120 some dollars. I spend $100 on food a month. Food, room, and board for me is $200 a month. And let's say I have immigration that week, so let's just slap on another $100. So that's $300 for food, room and board, immigration, and then let's throw another $100 in there just for shits and giggles for when I need to buy deodorant or feminine products, or I need to buy new shoes or whatever. So let's just say $400 a month. But if I didn't buy any of those extra things, that'd be $300 a month. So these are pretty much like my minimums. And then when I go to other places, or I have a month where I'm just hanging out a lot with my friends or people that I've met, then it can be like $500 a month. So that is my budget, because I don't go out all the time. I don't go to the fancy Western like restaurants or stay in fancy hotels. I budget my money, so I can enjoy myself when I go to other countries. When I go to Vietnam, when I go to Malaysia, I can treat myself. Those are my moments where I actually am more of a tourist. Here, I kind of just, I live like a local, basically. Not completely like a local, but I pretty much live like a local. Local because they know how to budget their money, and so I live like that. And so again, this is not for people who want to live in luxury or whatever. It's for people who want to travel long term and is just starting off and they're a bit on a budget. And then hopefully when you grow and you get more money and your business starts coming in, then you can sort of start, you know, living a bit more luxurious or doing more things. But this is people who just want to get started off now.
To us, yeah, you and
I hope that helps. Like, I do feel like every video I do, I am so rambling and sporadic and everywhere. I really do hope that helps. If there's something that I said that you didn't understand, I know I do talk fast. I'm working on that. Please comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share this video, please share it. It really helps, guys. And if you want to continue to follow me on this beautiful game called life, please subscribe. And thank you for live, love, life, and travel.
come shining through to make this rainbows in my mind.